What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dads, Not Always on Wrestling. I, of course, am the Renegade JJ Williams, and Jeff will be here just as soon as humanly possible. We had to cancel yesterday due to shenanigans by the t shirt, outside of me and Jeff's control, technical difficulties, if you will. So we had to postpone yesterday's broadcast. Jeff graciously gave us his normal talk wrestling slot to be able to redo the show today, and traffic is a mucker feather. So he is still in traffic on the freeway on his way to the studio to be able to join me so we can present to you guys our top 10 Summerslam title changes. All super chats, donations that are collected today are going to go to moi, the Renegade, as yesterday was my birthday. So, in the meantime, in between time, while we wait for Jeff to get to the studio so the real show can begin, we're going to kind of do this in a talk wrestling format. That's the show that people thought they were going to get tonight. The only difference is instead of Jeff answering your questions, it's just me. Shades of the old Renegade of Wrestling TV YouTube shows. Ask me whatever questions you've got, and I will try to field them and answer them until Jeff gets here. Josh, good to see you. Thank you for that compliment, by the way. I busted my butt to make that intro. Nothing against the ones that Jeff had made in the past, but I kind of felt like me and him had done so many outings together that it would only behoove us to represent some of those memories in the entry video. So thank you for that. Do what the man says. Donate to the birthday fund for the Renegade. I can't get super chats on my channel yet, so all the hard work that I do on Renegades reviews, on the War Zone, on Ask the Dads, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Open Mic Night, none of that stuff on my channel I can reap any benefits of. So any super chats that you guys can throw out there today, even if it's just a couple of bucks, whatever YouTube will allow you to do as the bare minimum, going to help me out a great deal. All right, Josh, first question. I see you're already trying to get under Jeff's skin, and Jeff ain't even here. Do you think the Cowboys are dim boys? LOL. I am not a big pro sports fan, Josh. I do like my NHL. If I had to pick a football team, I would be backing the Rams. That would be my team if I had to pick one. But I abstain from football. There was a time when I actually did follow a little bit, and I did like the Niners. I did like the Cowboys during their big run in the 90s there. But I honestly don't care enough about football. Patrick Maloney wants to know who has the most potential from NXT 2.0 to main event a Mania in the future. Well, they're definitely putting a lot behind Braun Breaker. Aside from him, I definitely see Carmelo Hayes as a main event player. He's got all the tools of the trade. I don't know about main event, but definitely, semi intercontinental US, I see Cameron Grimes. I definitely think he's got what it takes to make it to the main roster and get up into that upper echelon, barring any injuries or anything like that to both him and Carmelo. But out of everybody that they're kind of breeding in NXT, Braun Breaker seems like he's the obvious way to go. Going back to the Cowboys thing, Josh says, not trying to get under his skin, just a genuine question. I know he'll kill me later, LOL. Raymond wants to know, what did you think of Dexter Loomis getting arrested at the end of NXT? Raymond, I have yet to see NXT. I get the West Coast feed. I don't get it until 8 o'clock. And since we're doing the show tonight, I probably won't get to see it till tomorrow, if I'm being honest. Unfortunately, even though I have Hulu and Hulu Live, we can't get the East Coast feeds of the WWE products out here for whatever reason. We do get the East and West Coast feeds of AEW, as well as Impact and New Japan, but I don't get the East Coast feeds for WWE. So I had no idea about him getting arrested. Considering everything that's been going on with him on Raw, it doesn't surprise me that he got arrested. But who knows? I'm going to have to see how everything plays out tomorrow on the show when I watch it to be able to give a full thought on it. Everybody else that's tuning in right now or just joining, keep in mind, I have not seen tonight's NXT. So please try to refrain from asking questions about that, as it could lead to a spoiler if it has to do with tonight's specific show. If you want to ask me NXT questions in general, I am definitely willing to answer that, but try to refrain from asking anything about tonight's show. Josh also asks if I'm ready to see the European title back in WWE. Yes, yes, yes. For as short of a run as it had, I always loved the look of the European Championship. I always thought it was a great looking belt. I thought there were some great champions: British Bulldog, Shawn Michaels, Owen Hart, Triple H, William Regal, even Matt Hardy. I thought there were some really cool European champions there during their lineage. I would love to see that come back under a revamped Triple H NXT. So once again, for everybody tuning in, you've got the Renegade right now solo until Jeff can get in. He is stuck in traffic. I know you guys are used to seeing Talk Wrestling in this slot. Tonight, we're going to be doing a special broadcast of the DADS, Not Always on Wrestling, as we had to postpone yesterday's broadcast. So we're definitely going to get into our top 10 SummerSlam title changes just as soon as he gets home and in the studio. In the meantime, it's very much like the old Renegade of Wrestling show that I used to do back in the days. It's very much like a Talk Wrestling. Ask me questions and I will field them and answer them just as best as I can, going through and just biding our time here until the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham, can join us. Hello to you too. Good to see you here. Favorite part from the review on Thursday? Mine was Virtue versus James versus Tito, where Aaron lost control, no one reading, and all the kiddies. Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I started the show, left, and then came back that James was on the show, knowing the James and Virtue situation. And then to see Tito there, to see TJS there, it was pretty cool. I told Aaron off camera I was a little bit bummed that I wasn't able to get brought into the room while TJS and Virtue were both there, because myself, Aaron, and those two gentlemen had done a Beatles show on Aaron's personal channel. I want to say it was December of last year. So you're going to have to look that up on YouTube. Me, Aaron Rift, Tito, and TJS all talking about the Beatles for about 2 hours. And then in the studio at the same time were James and Noah, who along with me is a huge part of the Jeff Meacham Multiverse of Media, the Open Mic Night crew. So if I had been able to be brought in during that point of the broadcast, it would have been cool to have like all of that synergy come together. Honestly, though, just being a part of the show was my favorite part, because if you know the history of the Casa D18 Studios and the No DQ channel, and I'm not going to get all into it, so please don't ask. But if you know the history between the two channels, there was a long time there where I never thought I would be accepted and allowed onto a No DQ broadcast. So to be a part of the family now, to be a part of the review team on a somewhat regular basis, to be able to come on to a monumental episode like that and just be part of the festivities, that was my favorite part, hands down. Raymond wants to know what I think about doing a review for Game of Thrones House of Dragons, which is a prequel to Game of Thrones. Raymond, you may not believe this, but I have never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. There was just nothing about it that interested me. I might consider doing House of Dragons. The problem I foresee is that I'm getting ready to start this Thursday, in fact, reviewing She-Hulk Attorney at Law. And I can't be doing 2 television reviews at the same time. So since I already committed myself to She-Hulk, Game of Thrones House of Dragons, unfortunately, is one that I just can't do. I need to make sure I've got plenty of time for my movies as well, because that's my bread and butter on my channel. Let's see here. Psycho Jet Black wants to know, who is the better WCW champion, Jeff Jarrett or Booker T? That's a tough one. I'm going to go. I know Booker's whole claim to fame is being a 5-time WCW champion, sucker. But I honestly feel like Jeff Jarrett, if I'm remembering correctly, had some better rivalries for his championship. Yes, it was also marred by the Bash at the Beach Hogan incident. But at the end of the day, Jarrett put Booker over. And so I'm going to go with Jarrett, especially considering how much crap he gets. Jarrett gets a whole bunch of crap for his times in WCW and whatnot. So I definitely think he needs the credit he deserves. Michael Gonzalez says he won't be able to watch this live, but he'll be definitely checking out the replay. Have a great night. Thank you very much. Make sure you guys all remember that all super chats tonight and donations are going to go to me for my birthday. So please make sure you guys send in a couple of super chats. Show your love and respect for me, especially sitting here trying to hold it down in Jeff's absence until he can get home. I knew that I was going to be going in solo here, but I have no idea how long I'm going to be having to hold it down. So is Undertaker still with WWE, or is he going? No, he's never going to go to AEW. He is still with WWE. He's under a Legends contract. He's still doing personal appearances for them and whatnot. Undertaker, since Survivor Series 1990, Undertaker is going to be WWE till he dies. Plain and simple. Undertaker is just one of those guys. He had his opportunity when he could have jumped shit to WCW back during the Attitude Era, and he chose not to. He chose to stay loyal to Vince. And that's just the type of guy that Mark is. So he is going to stay with WWE forever. Someone's got a birthday. I wonder who. Someone's got a birthday. I wonder who. If you got that reference, you're awesome. Thank you very much, Psycho Jet Black. Ken terminates DQ. Welcome, Ken. Just to let everybody know that is just joining the room still or is coming in late, Jeff is stuck in traffic. Tonight we're supposed to do the DADS Not Always on Wrestling top 10 Summerslam title changes. It was supposed to be yesterday, but due to circumstances beyond our control, that got postponed and it was put into the Talk Wrestling slot here tonight. While Jeff is stuck in traffic, I'm basically doing Talk Wrestling, or for those of you that have been following me forever, Renegade of Wrestling, and I'm just fielding your questions until Jeff can get here, and then the two of us will start to crank through our list for the top 10 SummerSlam title changes. You know, it was a tricky one for me. I had like 16 title changes that I was trying to go through, including some from recent years. And a lot of you guys know that I'm only just getting back into it. So for me to have a few title changes, even in contention from recent years, says a lot. I'm not going to lie, most of my selections are older selections, but I actually do have a couple on my list that occurred after I stopped watching. Here's a topic. Your thoughts on the CM Punk Hangman controversy in AEW, and do you think we'll ever see Colt Cabana back on Dynamite? Well, let me take care of the second one first. Unfortunately, I feel that there's enough bad blood between Punk and Cabana that Cabana is pretty much done at this point with AEW. He's going to be resorted to dark elevation if he even gets any kind of broadcast time whatsoever. And it's sad, but it is what it is. I wish to God Punk and Cabana could bury the hatchet and have a tag team title run in AEW. I just think that would be so cool for the fans, especially those that have been fans of Punk and Cabana since the Indies, since IWA Mid-South, since Reign of Honor. You know, as far as the Punk Hangman controversy, you know, I don't know what to think. Part of me thinks it's a work, part of me thinks it's a shoot, part of me thinks it's a work shoot. I just feel like whatever Punk does on the mic is good for ratings. You know, and I know that sometimes the numbers for AEW don't show that it's good, but unfortunately, we can't go by Nielsen like we used to in the past. It's just not a reliable source anymore. But I think that I don't feel that Punk refused to put Hangman over. I I think that Hangman was having a less than stellar title run and they needed to get the belt off of him. If Hangman had been having the kind of run that Omega and Jericho and Moxley had all had, there wouldn't have even been a question. Hello, Hassan. Thank you for joining. If you're here for Talk Wrestling, that is going to be on Thursday this week. Today is the DADS Not Always on Wrestling, but Jeff is stuck in traffic, so I'm just kind of fielding questions right now until he can get here. Remember, all super chats and donations that come in today are going to go towards my birthday fund. Show me a little bit of love. Throw some super chats out there. In the meantime, like I said, until Jeff gets here, I'm going to just keep fielding questions, answering whatever you guys have to throw out at me. Don't everybody ask a question at once. All right. Psychojet Black says, what should they have done different with Bret Hart's debut in WCW? Well, for starters, they shouldn't have waited so long. You know, he should have been out there the very next night after the screw job, at the very least a week later. They shouldn't have waited a month to debut him. You know, if memory serves me correctly, he didn't come in until Starrcade to be the guest referee. They should have capitalized on the fire while it was still hot. Bret was getting a bunch of publicity. Granted, this was before I started watching. That's why I may be a little bit off in my dates. But they should have capitalized while that fire was hot, man. They wasted time in making Bret wait to come on. His contract had expired. You know, there was no non-compete. Vince let him out of his contract. They screwed him. He should have been on the next Nitro. Period. Raymond wants to know, do I see Sasha and Trinity coming back? Yes. I've answered this a couple times on Ask the Dads and on Open Mic Night. I definitely see the two of them coming back. The question is when. Realistically, it's probably going to be at the end of the women's tag title tournament, whenever they do that. I know they're supposed to have the second chance fatal 4-way this week on SmackDown. I don't know if the winner of that is going to face Raquel and Aaliyah on the same night, and then on Monday they're going to have the finals, or if they're going to hold it over a week, and after the second chance, then the winner of that's going to fight Raquel and Aaliyah on the following SmackDown, and then the Raw after that they'll do the match. But they're coming. It's just a matter of when, not if. So Jeff wants to update people, says that he can't get audio to work or video to not pixelate because of where he is in transit, but he just wants to update now that he can. I'll get to your question in just a second, Raymond. We are at a dead stop on the freeway in the San Fernando Valley and are being redirected into surface streets. It's going to be a while. All right. Not sure really what to do at this point. Let's see here. Give me just a second, folks, while I try to figure something out here. All right. Let me see what happens here, folks. Raymond says, who do I see winning the second chance? I'm not 100. I don't remember everybody that's in it. I'd like to see Shotzi and Zaya get the opportunity, but I doubt that's going to happen. It sucks that Gigi Dolan got injured because Toxic Attraction was who I wanted in there for the NXT contingent. As much as I enjoy watching Nikita Lyons, her and Zoe Stark should have never been in it in the first place. So once Toxic Attraction got in there, they were honestly my picks to go to the finals against Io and Dakota. And then possibly have Trinity and Sasha come in and screw Io and Dakota from getting the victory. Sasha essentially screwing over her friend Bailey and then allowing Toxic Attraction to become the new champions. But now that they're injured, now that Gigi's out, that sucks. I was really looking forward to seeing them in the tournament and going all the way. Psycho Jet Black wants to know, what is the best match you've ever seen from WWE, WCW, ECW, AEW, Ring of Honor, and the Indies? Okay, there's a lot there. Let me see. Because what do I go by to judge the match? Like that's tough for me. I've got some different criteria. WCW, I'd probably go with the Halloween Havoc between Eddie and Ray. I know it's cliche, but I do love that match. ECW, 2 out of 3 falls, Eddie versus Malenko, both of their last nights with the company. AEW, I'm still new to AEW. I did really enjoy, though, the Jeff Hardy Darby Allin match that was on Dynamite, I want to say, earlier this year. I enjoyed that. Ring of Honor, Punk Joe, doesn't matter which one. Pick one of the series. The Indies, Scorpio Sky versus Scott Lost, I Quit match, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. And that brings me back to WWE. I don't know if it's the best match I've ever seen from WWE, but one of my all-time favorites, Randy Orton, Cactus Jack, Backlash 04. Ken says that would be weird if Sasha and Naomi win the second chance match. That would be interesting to see them take out someone backstage, make their return and win the match. You know, going into the tournament since they never lost the belts to begin with. That would be interesting. Jeff says once he gets clear of the accident that's apparently ahead of us and he can improve his signal, he can comment along much better and maybe just do my list that way. Jeff, we'll just kind of see and play it by ear. If we can get someone in here from our regular team to kind of help me along until you can get here, then we'll go that route. If not, then we'll just play it by ear. I'm doing my best, folks, to try to field this and handle the situation. Unfortunately, as Jeff said, he is stuck in traffic. There's an accident. He's trying to get home to be able to do the show with us, especially after having to postpone from yesterday. So we'll just keep going and see how things go. Matt, how's it going? Good to see you. Ken, I can't wait to see Ciampa and Gargano reunite. That would be interesting. I never really got to see them as a team, so That would be cool to see. Psycho Jet Black says, if Aaron Rift can handle it, so can you. We believe in you. Thank you. I do appreciate that, Psycho Jet Black. It's just that it's been so long since I've talked wrestling on my own that I kind of feel like I need somebody to bounce off of. There's Jeff.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
good. I can hear you. That's a good start.
All right.
Jeez, what a freaking thing.
Jeff Meacham, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
For those of you who don't live in Southern California, just don't. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Unless you
I
got
love the
frustration
vote
with
of
traffic and bullshit.
confidence. I love the vote of confidence Psycho Jet Black just gave me there. If Aaron Rift can handle it, so can I.
Hey, I'm out near where Riff used to live, so I understand that comment more than y'all realize. All right, nice little sunspot from the car behind us. Cool. Oh, that's going to be one of those things.
All right, let me go ahead and get through these last couple questions that are in the chat room, and then we will go to the regular format.
Yes, what a concept, right?
Cyback wants to know if I think FTR will be AEW Tag Champs by the end of the year. Yes. Who do I think they'll take it from? I'm not really sure. It would be cool if they took them from the Bucks, but the Bucks don't have them right now, do they?
No, they don't.
So the Bucks would basically have to lose the trios tournament, which since they've got Kenny back, they're probably not going to lose that anytime soon. And then win the regular belt. So, I mean, unless FTR takes the trios belts from the Bucks and Omega, you know, CMFTR.
There you go. FTR has it some stupid shit,
Keen Mike X, no, I haven't watched NXT already. We get it West Coast feed, and since we're live doing this, probably won't get to watch it till tomorrow, if I'm being honest.
I don't think I will.
I'm sure there's behind-the-scenes shenanigans, but I'm just glad to see that Jeff is all right. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially after everything that went down yesterday and having to postpone and the circumstances beyond both our control.
Have you used the F-bomb for the ratio yet?
No.
Yeah. It's like the show called the fucking 5.
See, I don't think we got the F-bomb there either because you were kind of blotchy speaking.
Okay, good. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It was the 405.
Like you censored yourself.
Yeah, I didn't mean to, but that works.
All right, so before we get into this, just as another reminder, top 10 SummerSlam title changes. All super chats and donations that are collected today are going to go to my birthday fund. So far, we're at a whopping grand total of $0, but you know, there's still time to improve that situation.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, in the interest of not having my hand do that 20 times as we go on here, I don't really care to at this point because they're already loaded. I don't really care. So if you can navigate,
I can click on each one for you.
Yeah, mine are in order. Number 10 is at the top. Number 1's at the bottom. So.
Okay. So since we're doing this differently and I'm bringing this show home today, Jeff, go ahead and start off with your list.
Okay, so number 10, and by the way, there are a lot of honorable mentions because I love me some SummerSlam, for the record, and one of the honorable mentions that I know I have to include, especially where I'm at right now, heading out of the valley, is Aaron's favorite SummerSlam match, which is the Hearts and Demolition from 1990. That 2 out of 3 Falls match is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, but it didn't make my list. However, this tag team match did. Number 10, I forget what year it was already because I did this list, a while ago and actually had it ready to go. But it is the Usos and it is the New Day because that's what Usos and New Day do. They fight each other on pay-per-view. But one of those battles these guys had over the years at SummerSlam, I want to say it was the mid-2000s because Usos are not quite in Bloodline here yet. But put these two teams on pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. You're going to get gold. You're going to get magic. It's just the way it is. And this match at SummerSlam, which I believe was the lead into their match at Hell in a Cell, which was one of the damnedest Hell in a Cell matches I've ever seen, and the first ever tag team Hell in a Cell that I recall. So this particular run with these two teams was just straight magic, and it showed here. Usos, of course, I believe regained the tag titles, so can't go wrong with that. And Psycho, actually, you will see the scenario that led to that toward the end here. And when we do that, I will definitely have Judy put that comment on. So yeah, that's my number 10. Usos and New Day. Again, pick me a bad match out of their group of pay-per-view matches. I can definitely wait because we're in freeway traffic, so we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. You mentioned how the Usos aren't quite bloodline looking there yet. If you want to be honest, they look like they're in the Wish version of Roman's Shield gear.
Yes. And the way the graphic turned out, which I didn't edit and straight down. That's actually how the graphic looks on pay-per-view. So some of the people that wheel that day on the pay-per-view line.
Yeah.
Because the one looks like he's freaking. It looks like they copied the one Uso and put them around vertically. That's bad.
Number 9 for me is, by the way, it's all singles after this just because it's, I just love and this one, God, JJ will tell you firsthand.
I was restrained from destroying his television in Long Beach because of the finish of that match at Money in the Bank. It was disgusting. The fact that
Christian won the title because
Orton got disqualified because Christian spit in his face. That shit was nasty. And it had to lead to no holds barred. I mean, that's just the way, when you get in a situation where you get disqualified in your title
because of a stupid stipulation like that, and the reason you got disqualified is because the other dude spit in your face.
That's crowds from let alone an ass with him. So, and we were both there live, and yes, it was awesome.
Again, Christian in 2011, the character kind of waned after a while. The one more match stuff got real old real quick, but him and Randy were gold all spring and summer. And yes, he definitely is. In any company, on any front. 2-time NWA champion, 1-time Impact champion now. Multiple-time champion in yeah, there you go, Ken, exactly. Multiple-time champion in WWE over the years. Both tag and singles. The guy's just underrated, and I get that, it's hard to not be underrated when you've got Edge as your comparison point. That's a bitch. But yeah, he and Orton at SummerSlam, that was actually a really, it could have been a disastrous SummerSlam on paper, but I think other than the Money in the Bank cash-in ending the Cena Punk thing, great show. And this is one of the great matches on the show.
So, number 8's one of those that we look back now and we go, it's only been multiple variations on the out. Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. Just kidding. Number 8 is actually one of the best things in the history of the universe. Because it's the first ever SummerSlam title change I saw on a SummerSlam tape. I didn't see it on pay-per-view because I wasn't watching pay-per-views at that point. I didn't watch SummerSlam at that point, but I did see it on Call-In Video, and you've heard about it every year ever since 1991. It is for the Intercontinental Championship. It's Bret Hart defeating Mr. Perfect. You figure it this way. He went into this match, Kurt Hennig did, with his back so foobar, and if you don't know the word foobar, look it up, for you youngins out there, that he immediately went into the role of Ric Flair's executive consultant because his back was so screwed up, but they wanted to keep Kurt on TV because Kurt was always gold. And my goodness, what a pairing it was, right? But this match, all the drama, you're in the Garden, it's Bret's first title win, his family, his parents are right there in the front, so much so that, Lord Alfred Pace trying to interview him, and Bret just walks right up and the interview's over because Stu and his infinite confusion, hugging the kid. Great moment, and then Lord Alfred tries to interview Stu, and rather than let Stu talk, he just talks right over him, and the segment cuts. Some of the best parts of that. But the match, oh my God, the match.
if you were to and I'm sorry for the the music's gonna get me demonetized today, but that's okay. Whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's better to just let it go, because I've noticed when you put your hand to the ear to try to cover it, that's when you get muffled.
Got it.
So
okay, good to know.
when you're not covering, I can hear you a lot clearer.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. You know, just if you were to write draw me a technical blueprint of a match in 1991 WWF. If it's any other match but this, you're using the wrong tools to draw the blueprint up. It's just the way it is.
Pretty much.
This match is golden.
Yeah.
Everything about this match is just magic. And like I said, the fact that Bret and Kurt got to where they got with this match in the condition Kurt was in is nothing short of perfect.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before you move on to the next one. Whose back was more foobar at the time of the match? Perfect's in this, or HBK's at Mania versus Austin?
Sean. And that's saying something, but Kurt at least had a prognosis of he would be able to come back eventually. They were telling Sean the doctors were surprised he was walking. They found out why he was walking after the fact, but you know, yeah, the fact that Perfect was able to at least walk to the back and, you know, had a prognosis of this can get better. And Sean's doctors were like, you're looking at traction the rest of your days, dude. Like, seriously. Yeah, Sean's was by far the worst of the two, but Kurt's back was still pretty bad.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so number 7 now. This is one of those that, again, you know, I remember they called Triple H and Brock Lesnar the perfect storm at SummerSlam. I think this one is even better of a description of that. Shotgun Tom, don't mind shotgun in the background. I mean, again, this entire year, you had them at WrestleMania in the opening match. You had them at SummerSlam. You had them just all over the place. Brock catches in Money in the Bank. Who'd have ever thought that Brock Lesnar and Mr. Money in the Bank would be a thing? And as entertaining as he was when doing it, that was the best part, right? Freaking
using the briefcase like a boombox. Boombox
yeah.
Brock.
Yeah, boombox Brock. There you go. Shit was hysterical, but again, it was everything that had the WrestleMania match gone on when it was supposed to go on. It probably would have been that. The SummerSlam match was freaking brutal and just a fun thing to watch. Both guys were arguably the best they were all year at that point. And that's saying something, because Seth was hot all year for that.
Report Card Radio, we are live right now, baby.
We are live, brother. I'm literally on the freaking freeway trying to get the hell out of here and get home. We're live, brother. Obviously live. What the hell? Why would they ask you this is pre-tape? This would be the worst pre-tape job in the history of the universe. Like, seriously. Who would do something this asinine? My God.
We would have back in the day, let's be honest.
Well, maybe we would have, that's true.
I mean, we did try to record in front of the Luxor and in front of the Planet Hollywood in Vegas with all kinds of background noise.
It's accurate. It is what it is.
You know.
But yeah, again, Lesnar, Rollins, it's just one of those, a lot of these SummerSlam matches you're going to see are just name a bad scenario for a match at, you know, a SummerSlam, and there isn't one, because even though the situations may have been crappy going in, the match just turned out like going. Bret Perfect's a great example. That match should never have been as good as it was, considering how Kurt was messed up, and it turned out to be one of the greatest matches in SummerSlam history. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Jeff isn't driving. The only cars Jeff drives are Autopia. Jeff's dad is driving. They are literally stuck in traffic trying to get home so he can do this.
Some family fun places. Don't discredit my family fun enjoyment. All right, where are we at here? Number 6. I have a feeling it's going to appear again here on the second half of the show. Just a guess.
It would be a good hunch.
But despite our jokes to the contrary, this is not the point where Randy Orton walked into the ring in those god-awful peach-ass tights and found the World Heavyweight Championship in the middle of the ring in Toronto. By the way, that crowd for Toronto was hot last night. They were on fire. Gotta love that Toronto crowd.
Yeah, they were. Holy hell. From start to finish, and Beth getting
Yes.
involved.
Yep.
Man, like if there isn't a match at Clash, Edge and Beth and maybe AJ versus Judgment Day, they're missing the money right
They're
there.
missing the boat there. Yeah, they're missing the boat, and we don't mean natty. Kind of hard to miss natty right now on social media. Anyway,
Heyo,
hey Canadian, we're talking about Canadian SummerSlam, whatever. But yeah, Chris Benoit again. I know it's taboo to say the B word, but man, this match should be forever held in history as one of the greatest matches in history. And outside of this little bubble we call the DADS, not always on wrestling and the Jeff Meacham Network and the Casa, it's not. And we get it. We know why, right? But you put this match on, and it's, at least for me, it's very easy to slip back into that memory, that muscle memory of 3 years prior to what all went down. And it's just a thing of beauty. And it main evented because it should. When you figured the WWE Championship was Undertaker JBL, no knock on Undertaker, and not even a knock on Bradshaw. I wonder if you could actually enjoy Bradshaw's WWE Champion. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Undertaker, Batista. Okay, yeah, I'll knock that match. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, John. But this match proved that the company was behind the Raw brand and the World Championship, much more than the WWE Championship, because this match main evented. Sorry, the headlights right in y'all's face there. It's about to get worse, just so you know. Yeah, they put us back on the freeway here, and we're just kind of just hitting it. So stand by, kids. But we're on the
no
air. So
worries.
Yeah, this entire year, when you really think about it, the Raw title main event at WrestleMania, the Raw title main event at SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure Goldberg and Hunter was the semi-main, or at least a more featured match for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series. And the Rumble was Michaels and Hunter for Last Man Standing. It wasn't the main event, obviously the Rumble was, but yeah, the World Championship picture was the focal point of 2004. And this match showed exactly why it should have been. Just a thing of beauty that if people would just let their BS about what happened with Chris Benoit 3 years later, just let it be what it was. And it was a horrible thing. I'm not taking that away from everybody that suffered from that. But this is a great example of Chris Benoit, the wrestler, doing Chris Benoit, the wrestler things. And
Yeah,
Randy was
exactly.
just at that point where he was finally at the point where he was not just a little douchebag asshole that we all, including Dad, still, hated his guts. He was coming into his own. And this, by all rights, should be his shining break out of the shell star moment. And it took 3 years to get that back for him because of what happened with Benoit. So,
Exactly.
but a great match, and always on my SummerSlam title match list, title change or not. This next one, I think I enjoy more for the post match. The match is good. I'm not going to take it away, and it is a TLC match at SummerSlam involving a Hardy, so you're going to love it no matter what. But it's Jeff Hardy losing the title to CM Punk again in front of the Staples Center crowd. This is the year before I started going, but I know you and I believe Teresa went with you this year. Am I right?
2009 was the first year I did not go that year.
Okay, so wow. Okay, so none
Yeah,
of us
that
was
was
there
the
that I recall.
year. That was the year that I asked people to pitch in and buy me a ticket
That's
so I
right.
could go to SummerSlam,
That's right.
and everybody let me down. So when tax time
Did we end
came
up doing it at your
around the
house
last
instead?
year, so when tax time
There
came
you
around
go.
the next year and we had our refund, tickets went on sale. We went with our tax refund, 2 tickets, 6th row, all throughout the pay-per-view. You can see us
I remember that
because
now.
of being disappointed from this night.
Did I watch a show at your house then?
I think so. I think you were there for that.
I think so too. But anyway, because I distinctly remember the end of this match because God, it was such a great ending. But man, this was Jeff when he was starting to really get to the point where WWE wasn't going to put up with it anymore, and they didn't because they were going to put him in rehab after this SmackDown rematch, if I recall correctly. And he's like, nope, I'm leaving. And then, you end up getting arrested. And it's like, oh, good thing we didn't do that. But the match itself was great. It was, again, one of those, it should have been Punk's moment, right? And, Punk's got Hardy down after a tremendous TLC match, which, again, TLC matches tend to be either train wrecks or all-time classics. This one was a little bit of both, but still a great moment because we're talking about title changes. This title change signified the true ascension of CM Punk, the bad guy. And had he not ran into the freaking brick wall that was The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, who knows how far he would have gone. But that moment at the end, man, where he's standing over Jeff's prone body with the belt in the air, gong, lights out, gong, lights on, Undertaker's in Jeff's spot. Just a great Undertaker moment, a great SummerSlam moment, and a more necessary than great title change, but still a great title change nonetheless.
Yeah, agreed.
This one I think also is going to be coming up later as well. I had the feeling. All the way, I think this is the far. Actually, no, never mind. Disregard. This is one of those. It had a tough act to follow a couple different times, and the guy challenging for the championship had to follow his buddy in this act. Matter of fact, 3 years prior, it was the exact same type of match between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. But in this case, it was DX leading Triple H challenging Nation leading Rock in the Garden at SummerSlam 1998. And again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. This is JJ's kind of coming out party as a fan. The first real pay-per-view he was actually aware of and watching television around the same time for. So, and there is no greater act in the WWF in this year, other than the guy who was, wearing black trunks, black boots, and had a bald head.
Pretty much.
Nation versus DX, Rock versus Triple H was everything an Intercontinental title feud under a headlining juggernaut like Austin should be. It was a great story. It was a great build. It was a phenomenal ladder match. The right guy won. And in losing, The Rock didn't lose a damn thing except the actual championship itself.
Exactly.
Both men grew exponentially out of this. And had Triple H not taken the knee injury and had to have the arthroscopic surgery, who knows how long he would have been champion. But again, if we don't have that, we don't get Ken Shamrock as the IC champion, nor the necessity in Ken's own mind to join the corporation. So, where does that lead us after that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said in the post today, or this morning when I posted the plugs, the butterfly effect is a mucker feather. Sometimes it works out for you. In this case, Triple H, with the knee surgery after one of the greatest matches in SummerSlam history, kind of benefited everybody.
Yeah.
The match itself, God, this match, I mean, JJ and I can watch this match on loop and find something different that's awesome about it every time we watch it, he and I, every single time.
Pretty much. Good. I mean, as you touched on, and yes, it will come up later on in the broadcast, this was like one of my favorite matches for years.
Yes.
And it's still in my top 5 ladder matches of all time.
Yeah, I remember. As you can sound the silence in the background, we'll move on to the next one. I love having a mission accompaniment behind as I do my list. It's tremendous.
Right.
I promise I will mute once I'm done with my part. This video's going to hell.
I don't want you to be muted too long, though, because we want you to be able to verbally chime in on at least the ones of mine that are different. So.
Well, no, I'll have it muted until I can comment, then I'll comment what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. Okay.
We'll figure out how it works. All right. This one is the only one on my list that's title for title, which was an unexpected thing. And the match itself is really good. The ending's just really stupid. Because it's Seth Rollins retaining the WWE Championship and defeating John Cena in the process for the U.S. Championship. Again, you very rarely get a
secondary versus a world champion in modern WWE. And even still, this is a good, 7 years ago now. But it was like, how are they going to do that? How are they going to have the guy defend both? And their solution, and the infinite wisdom of Vinnie McDaddy, was to have Jon Stewart interfere because he wanted to preserve Ric Flair's record as 16-time champion. No, that's not a work, folks. That actually happened. It wasn't working. No, it's not a rib. It actually happened that way. And this was the first one they did in Brooklyn. And I'll never forget. They did like each other and went, yeah, I'm glad they took that one back to New York. It was like such a good match, such a potentially great ending, and they used Jon Stewart as their out. Like, really? But the previous however many minutes, yes. Because you got Rollins and Cena. You're not going to go wrong with those two dudes. It's just not going to be a thing. And the fact that Rollins came out of this and had to go double duty at Night of Champions, and yes, he had his thing's career. We get it. But then he had a match with John the same night, and, he hasn't hurt Sting in that match. He's got an MVP night on his hands. And it's because of this match that he had to defend both titles. And, if anybody at that point could have carried both championships for any length of time, Seth Rollins. The guy was on fire.
Agreed.
Untouchable. Until
he still is. I mean, he is still. He still is. He's still one of the best things to see on TV on a weekly basis.
Yep. Looking forward to him and Riddle in a couple of weeks, for sure.
And who would have thought you'd ever say that? Something positive about Riddle.
Right? Well, it takes people like Randy and Rollins to get it out of me. All right, so numero 2, I went back and forth. Like I debated on these two and their placement for the longest time. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
But number 2 only falls at number 2 because I was there for number 1, for the record.
That's fair.
So number 2 is, for me, it gets the praise it deserves. I don't even take it away. But if you go back and watch the match, and not typically on just the moment after, it is a great match. But there's a lot of moments that you go, maybe not the best thing ever like they're talking about, but it is still a phenomenal moment, and it is a pivot point for both champion going in and champion and challenger going out. And that is the British Bulldog and Bret Hart at Wembley in 1992. You figure, at this point, Hogan's gone. We don't know if he's coming back. Randy's the WWF champion going into this pay-per-view, and they were on mid-card. Again, Randy Savage as champion is mid-card, just like he was against Flair at WrestleMania.
Just like Punk, most of his world title runs.
But 1992, the WWF Championship was the main event of the pay-per-view twice. And only at the Rumble because it was on the line in the Rumble match. Mania was mid-card, this show was mid-card. And Survivor Series only was in the main event because they were so Survivor Series match light, and Shawn was the IC champion, so it was champion versus champion. But this match, they're in England, Davies' home country, born in Canada, but let's not split hairs. He's got Lennox Lewis waving the Union Jack. Who Lennox Lewis, if you know who Lennox Lewis is, please go look him up when we're done. You need to for your own benefit. I'm not even joking. One of the greatest fighters ever. Could have been a lot more had his career not gone the way it went after that. But Lennox was awesome. And, hey, oh, Scott's here. Hi, Scott. And then you got Brett, who is everything but the damn champion at this point, right? Carrying the company on his back in the wake of Hogan, retiring, not retiring, in the wake of Randy having a bad knee and Randy's marriage falling apart and his headspace being all messed up, and the Warrior being back because reasons that can never be properly explained by anybody, including Vince McMahon. Hogan's got to do something.
Yeah, let's bring the Warrior back. There's a good idea. And this whole build, it was the first time we really got a look at the family dynamic breaking down within the Hart family. And my goodness, what do we get 2 years later? But it's only not here because not a title change.
Yeah.
Got clear now. Brett versus Owen is on every other SummerSlam list that you could possibly think of.
Pretty much.
I think really. But Brett and Davey is a wonderful match, a beautiful moment with Diane in the middle of the ring afterwards. Rupert Taney is playing. You've got the three of them hugging. It's beautiful. Davey Boy came out of it as Davey Boy do. He was a decent IC champion, but it was a means to an end. Get the belt to Shawn. Because even Bobby was saying at WrestleMania 8, because Shawn had challenged the winner of the match then between Roddy and Brett, and him and Brett had a wonderful summer series of ladder matches. But Shawn's time had come, and they didn't want to damage Brett by Shawn beating him. So I still think that as much as that moment was for Davey, even Brett said he had the moment after the fact. It was Brett's moment as much as it was Davey's, and Brett ended the year as the world champion. So, again, another where the loser benefits just as much as the winner did, much like Rock and Hunter. And then we get to what we talked about earlier. Number one, see if I can find the comments of having to scroll, because it tends to work better on the phone when you scroll up. There it is. Oh, there you go. Number one is Randy Orton cashing in Money in the Bank on Daniel Bryan and Triple H. No, that's just the piston in good old JM's Kool-Aid. Because Daniel Bryan, John Cena for the WWE Championship, Triple H is referee. Remember a couple things. Number one, yes, I said I was there. I wasn't actually in the building, despite what I said. I was down the street, setting up the No DQ post-show party. Whatever. But JJ can attest. Because he might have been there with me. Not there, but, mind space-wise. Bryan Danielson's our guy. We've been friends with him at this point for 8 years, if I remember right. John's our guy. Been acquainted with him not too long before this. And Triple H has been what appears to be the positive anti-Vince authority figure. So we can't lose here, right? We're going to get a great match. John picked Bryan as his opponent. We're going to get gold here. And my God, did we. And John went in again with an injury. His elbow was messed up. He had to get it lanced just to get into the ring this night. And then he went off surgery and was gone for 2 months the night after. So it should have been a complete cluster and a disaster. And instead it turned out to be my favorite SummerSlam title change of all time. Now, there's that caveat of, yes, Randy Orton did come down, cash it in, Triple H did turn heel and start the authority and made our lives all live in hell for 2 years. I don't know, 3 years, if you look at WrestleMania 2016, which I don't talk about hardly ever. My hair still is mad at me for even bringing that up. What's left of it. But the moment, the title change. Bryan delivers that running knee and pins John Cena in the middle of the Staples Center in front of your and my people and is the WWE champion. Yeah, Randy Orton pissed on the moment with the Money in the Bank cash in. Yeah, Triple H pissed on them with the pedigree. But for that one moment in our home arena, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever, was the WWE champion. Holy shit. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You talk about SummerSlam title changes, the top 10, it doesn't get any better than that for me.
There you go. It's hard to argue some of those. There's a lot of repeats that are going to be coming on my side. There's a few different.
I kind of figured. I'm trying to get this earbud so I can hear you properly, so I'm going to go on mute except for in the comments. So I'm using the freaking AirPods that were in the. Whoop. We got covered. There we go. Oh, Eagles background. Whoopsies. Let's see if I can. That's the overlay. Give me a second. Hi, Feeks. No, come on. Oh, there it goes. You got it. Very good.
But yeah, so there's quite a few repeats. I mean, I do have some honorable mentions for the ones that didn't make the official list. Some of them were on your list. Some of them you alluded to. I mean, and my images, I tried to get the actual with the belt after the
Right.
victory.
Of course.
So you've got after defeating Mr. Perfect there in 1991, Bret Hart.
There you go.
Another honorable mention, and it's only an honorable mention because it's the only one on my list where I was actually there for. Please, people, don't give me shit for this.
Oh, jeez.
But I also did have a sign for this person this evening. But Melina defeating Alicia Fox. You know how much I loathe Alicia Fox.
I forgot we were champion going in.
I had a We Want Melina sign that evening that I was holding up pretty much for this entire match. So, yeah. So don't give me any crap about that. I'm not Cameron of the Funkadactyls, for God's sakes.
We'll have to go back for a night and try to find a picture of your sign in the crowd.
The Hart Foundation defeating Demolition.
There you go. Great capture.
Benoit defeating OJ for the United States title.
Really? Because the moment, right? Not because the match is ridiculous.
Yeah. Most of these, it's for the moment for me. You know, especially the ones that pop in for the years where I wasn't really following. It's more for the moment than anything. Much like RK Bro.
There you go.
And then my last honorable mention came from a very cluster effy match, but it was SummerSlam 2000 when Trish and Val lost to Chyna and Eddie, and because Chyna got the pinfall, she became Intercontinental Champion.
God, Joey, God, I miss her. Anyway, sorry.
So that's just my honorable mentions.
I was at the RK Bro, by the way, so that's cool you put that up. Thank you.
You know, like I said, like you see, mine are them with the belts after the victory. So at least we're not going to see the same images again. And I do have two that actually made my list from when I wasn't watching. And like I said, I may have seen the matches. I don't remember if they were great matches, but for me, it's more, like you said, it's the moment for those. So try not to give me any crap in the chat room, y'all. If it was a shit match, then you've got to just understand why I picked that thing.
And but if you're going to shoot on it, super chat him first to make it feel better about himself.
That's right, because we're still at a grand total of $0.00 for my birthday fund.
You jerk.
See how it is. And I held this show down for almost 45 minutes
until
Meacham joined us.
We're still sitting in traffic, so y'all need to be nice and bullshit.
The first one on my list was one on your list. I want to say it was around the middle of your list. And it comes from SummerSlam 2009. CM Punk defeating Jeff Hardy.
There's the moment before the moment.
You know, I mean, this was a really hard one for me as a fan because even though I was kind of over Jeff's antics and bullshit at this point, I still was supporting him for the most part. I was happy he finally was getting runs with the title, but I was also a Punk fan. You know, I didn't get to see his rise in ROH. He was gone from Gorilla by the time I started coming. Matter of fact, I think his last Gorilla show was either the January or the February before All-Star Weekend, which was when I first started going. So like I missed Punk. I missed Punk by like that much in Gorilla. But I knew about him enough. I had watched some of his matches. The minute he showed up on WWE CW TV, I was all in, to steal a pun, behind CM Punk. So when that happened, I was all for it. But I was torn because he took the belt from Hardy in a TLC match.
Right.
You know, that's the Hardy specialty.
Yeah, Hardy's an education, man.
So, but it was such a good match.
To
And,
be
you know,
fair to yourself,
go ahead.
to be fair to yourself, you weren't at the point where you were tearing Jeff's picture on TV yet.
No.
That was a year later.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But it was just one of those things. And, you know, you laid out the story of the match beautifully. So I'm not going to go into that detail. But, and then you figure it led to Punk coming out dressed as Jeff Hardy after he had left, which was one of the best CM Punk moments during that run.
I forgot all
Made
about
a
that.
certain
Wow.
Hardy fanatic in the Nevada area all kinds of pissed off, which just made it even better.
I remember that distinctly. God.
So, but yeah, so there's my number 10.
That's
Number
awesome.
9 and number
match.
8. Number 9 and number 8 are both the ones that come from the time period where I wasn't watching. And ironically, it's both women. Number 9 comes to us from 2017 when Naomi lost the title to my girl Natty.
Honorable mention for sure for me.
I mean, Natty had been champ a couple times by that point, but to see her win the title on that stage at my birthday month pay-per-view with the connection that I have had with Natalya for years. I mean, she follows me on Twitter. My daughter is named Natalie as a tribute to her. When I met her at Access, she had people take our photo with her own camera and post it to her Twitter account.
Right.
So you put all those things in, and the years of connection between Natalya and myself, to see that moment, just, you can't help but smile.
Exactly. Sorry about that. I had to answer text.
Well, no worries. Number 8, the other one from when I wasn't watching. Good old Miss Bliss.
Yes.
By the rowdy one. Ronda Rousey. I believe getting her first championship in the E. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the badass that is Ronda Rousey. And my girl is still beyond pissed at Liv and the cash in and the pinfall tap out. She wants Shayna to just decimate her because of what she did to Ronda.
Although I am curious what they're going to do now, because Shayna and Ronda almost have words.
I know, it would be interesting. I'd like to see a feud between the two of them once Shayna dethrones Liv, if that is in fact what happens.
Yeah, it's one of those, like Shayna, so, you gotta work with the system, and Ronda gave her a look like, he used to be a killer, and she walked off. Shayna's like, damn, totally gave her a side eye, like, there's gonna be some shit there.
Yeah.
Bum.
Much like one of my honorable mentions, this next match, number 7 on my list, was a little bit of a cluster too, as both the Intercontinental and women's title were on the line, as Kofi and Mickey defended and lost to Glamorella.
It's almost been my list, I'm not gonna lie, because it was a great, fun moment.
It was, and especially that right there at the end, like Santino on Beth's shoulders, just showing what a beast Beth Phoenix is, was, and always will be. We saw her on Raw get involved post match, and if they don't capitalize on that, then they're seriously missing money. But yeah,
Yeah,
Glamarella.
she's even crazier now. She a white on a mama bear now.
Oh yeah, but Glamarella taking the IC and women's title from Mickey and Kofi. It was a good match because Kofi's a good wrestler, Mickey's a good wrestler, Beth's a good wrestler, and yes, Santino Marella, as goofy as he was, is a freaking good wrestler.
Yes, he is, Dan.
So it was a good match, some funny spots, and Glamarella would not have gotten where they did if it wasn't for this.
Nope.
Like this seriously could have been SummerSlam 2010 Nexus shit, and they would have been dead in the water had they lost this match. But
oh yeah, definitely.
They won like they should have. We got again that moment, and it was good enough to make number 7 on my list.
Yeah, it's just such a shame that it all led to Santina being the thing. Like,
That it is what it is, baby.
it is what it is indeed, baby. Yes. Let's move on quickly now before we get the members coming back in our heads.
Yes. So out of my next 6, 4 of them were on your list.
Wow.
Number 6 on my list, and you might hate on me a little bit, but it was your number 1.
I hate on it. It's subjective.
Just hating at the positioning of it. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm good.
Knowing that was our boy winning the belt in our arena, even if only for a moment. But that moment, and again, you see the confetti falling there. You see the smirk on Hunter's face as he raises Brian's arms.
Yeah. As much as we know what's coming, I think honestly a part of Paul Levesque was like, man, this is freaking cool.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Very much so, very much so. And it was a good moment. I was just as pissed as you were, even though I am an Orton guy too, much like the Punk Hardy match. I was a Brian fan since seeing him in Gorilla. I was an Orton fan since the day he debuted with that Midwestern farmer's comb down haircut, looking like the WWE version of AJ Styles back in 2002. And you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know that Randy Orton, go on YouTube and look up the RNN news updates from when he had his shoulder injury and look at that comb down hair that he used to rock. Oh my God. Sandy posted one of those on her IG story today talking about, don't tell me you an Orton fan if you don't remember this. And it's like, girl, I was down with that.
Seriously, Sandy got through that with his stupid ass haircut and still got him a kiss at SummerSlam that year and didn't bat an eye because she suffered through the dark times in that nasty ass hair.
Yeah.
Oh, love me some Sandy. Got to have lunch with her the other day, actually. I missed that girl.
Yeah. So number 5 on my list, you went into great detail about it earlier. It was the first SummerSlam I was a fan for. Triple H winning that ladder match.
I love that shit.
Yeah, him on top of the ladder there, raising the belt. You see the SummerSlam banner behind him. Back when the banner was a legit banner, like you'd see at a sporting event or some shit.
That's just freaking CGI nonsense.
Yeah. But, man, like I said, that is still in my top 5 ladder matches of all time. Not talking about TLC, but just straight ladder matches. Top 5 all time. Maybe even my number 2 behind the No Mercy 99 ladder match.
Back in the ladder match was a special occasion and a sight to behold on an irregular basis.
Yes. Yes.
For the
We're
record,
gonna
we are
have
pulling in the driveway right now. So
nice. So we might actually get you on your actual computer with some proper lighting for a
in
little bit.
studio and everything, just it might happen here. Yeah.
So this is going to be a fun one to get to because at number 4 comes the guy that you acknowledged
I knew
actually
this was
was
coming.
in
Gee,
fact
I
a
knew it was coming.
horseman.
You and Miss Dan match.
SummerSlam 99, Jeff Jarrett winning the European and Intercontinental Championship off of D'Lo Brown with the
Is
assistance
this
of
a
Mark Henry.
Endeavor?
Jeff Jarrett
Is this an
becoming,
HD shot?
I don't know,
That's a great. I've never seen a graphic of it that good. That's damn good, brother. Wow.
but Jeff Jarrett becoming only the second of 3 Eurocontinental champions. D'Lo was the first, Jarrett took the belts off him, and then Angle did it. Those are the only Eurocontinental champions in WWE history.
Yes, sir.
There have been other people that have held both titles, but never at the same time.
Yes.
And Jarrett was only Eurocontinental champion for 24 hours because the next night on Raw, he gave the European title to Mark Henry as he went down his path and began his journey to being sexual chocolate.
Oh, Lord.
But
Let's remember that on purpose.
But I mean, this led to the match at No Mercy with him in China.
It did.
So, it's like there's definitely some good that came out of that match.
Hi. Okay. Going back to the studio. Here we go.
No worries. I will actually pause for a moment so that you can get situated so that we can do our top 3 with you actually at your desk.
Much appreciated.
I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody that has been with me for the whole time. All 4 of you that are still watching, thank you so much. Don't forget, all Super Chats donations that come in today are going to my birthday fund. As of right now, we have collected none, but you still have some time to get a donation in, as I still have my top 3 SummerSlam title changes to get through.
And all the gratuitous plugs.
That's right. Jeff has already done his list. Despite being stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, despite the fact that he is literally just walking in the door.
Yes.
Yeah, that is why he is not on screen right now. It's because he is getting set up in the studio so that he can actually join us. So that he can actually join us properly for my top 3 SummerSlam title changes. What do you guys think they're going to be? You've seen what I've given so far. You've seen my honorable mentions. I will say 2 of my 3 Jeff had on his list. One of them he did not. And I will give this little caveat. My top 3 very easily could have been a 3-way tie for number 1, as they are the first 3 title changes I think of when I think of SummerSlam titles changes.
Well, I definitely know one of them because we talked about it's going to be on your list, and I haven't seen it on your list yet. So, okay, computer is firing up.
No worries. So, those of you that are still tuned in, what do you think my top 3 title changes are? Leave them in the comments. Let's see how good you guys are.
What's cool is you guys see me on camera. You see the new shirt I got that I posted all over social media yesterday. So I'm still wearing it. Oh, again, thank you for holding down. And I know that first 45 was what it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was a struggle, man. I am out of shape doing talk wrestling type shows on my own.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't done a Renegade of Wrestling since I want to say like 2012.
Sounds about
right. So, to try and hold it down and do one, it was tough, man.
Right.
That's why I tried to get one of our regulars, whether it was James, whether it was Mikey, whether it was Noah, somebody to jump in. Josh was watching earlier. Hell, he could have even jumped in if he had wanted to. I would have been down.
luckily, at the point I actually messaged you and said it was close, I was able to get in the car and get her going. So that worked out. All right, camera needs to work before I do any damn thing. Come on. Ugh. Come on, you. Oh, wait, it's the wrong function, you dipshit. Sorry, guys. Okay. No, I need to. There we go.
This part of the Dad's Not Always on Wrestling is brought to you by Jeff in his foul language as he kicks on his computer.
That's right. Today's secret letter is F for F this equipment.
And you know what? And you all know what happens when we hear the secret letter.
Call the FCC.
Damn.
Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, wait.
You're not wrong.
Oh, the police. Just swearing again. Okay. Let's see. All right. Go ahead and go on your number 3 while I finish doing the thing here.
If I must, I must.
I don't have to.
So
you wait along if you want to.
I can stall a little bit. It's not a big deal for me.
I'm almost there. Trying to get this camera to cooperate, which is always the adventure around here.
Yes.
And you know this, man.
Man.
If you understand that reference, you've been watching a long time. We love you especially.
That's right. Unfortunately, it's only Tuesday. It's not Friday.
That's okay.
We do have jobs and we do have S to do.
Yes, this is very true. Unfortunately. Hopefully I'll have a better job tomorrow. Or at least sometime soon after work tomorrow. Stay. Good camera. All right. Set up. Good camera. Stay. No, don't do it. Okay. I don't worry about the background. I'm just going to put the green screen. Okay. Be right back.
Okay. There we go. Jeff is live, baby, live.
Where the hell is my headset? There it is. And there was light, and there was sound, and they were good.
Yes.
Oh, I hate the 405, and I even hate the 5, because that was the problem. Some dipshit got on the on-ramp there where you get Philmar and just crashed. And bumped over traffic as it already was. Like, how do you get on on-ramp and cause that much shenanigans when the cars ain't even freaking moving? You a mega dumb fuck. Anyway.
All right. So we are at my top 3.
Yes, sir.
Number 3 comes from 2004.
There it is.
When a young man in peach tights walked to the ring and found the title.
I am so glad you used this shot. I love the shit out of this picture. I always have.
Me too. And that's why I used it, just to prove how much we've been bullshitting over the years. For those who believe WWE's revisionist history, there he is, shaking the man's hand who defeated him.
Yes. And yes, those are the peach tights. They're not a figment of our imagination. They do exist.
They definitely exist. They made action figures of those tights.
I'm pretty sure it's either here or in the boys' room. I've got that damn action figure. I do.
I did when it was a Jax one.
Yeah.
But then Mattel just made it in that Build-A-Figure set that had the Dominic map figure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we still have the Jax one. Yeah. For the record, the one they talked about today, they're releasing the series where you build a figure. 1997 in-suit Rick Rude is the Build-A-Figure. Nice. Yes, please. Can I have me some of that? Can we just do that? Because that's NWO and DX Rick Rude. I want me some of that on my shelf. Yes, please.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, sir. Anyway, I know you nerd aren't exactly peas and carrots, but anyway, yes.
All good.
Orton Benoit. Let's just gush on a little bit more, shall we?
You said most of it, and I knew you would. I knew you would probably have it, but yeah, it is a great match, start to finish, bell to bell. It does exist. Look for it on the cock.
It's actually there.
We make light of it because of the way WWE wants us to view Chris Benoit. And we still will make light of it because it's just so funny to talk about Randy Orton walking to the ring in those god-awful peach tights, right? Finding the belt just laying there in the middle, picking it up and then climbing the turnbuckle and hitting the post. It's just so funny to build it up that way. But there is the proof. Chris Benoit did exist as he shakes Randy's hand post-match.
Oh, wait, wrong one. Fine. Ruined the bit. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. So like I said, these three, that one and my next two, are the first three matches and title changes I think of when I think of SummerSlam title changes.
And you said 2 of the last 3 were on my list as well.
Yes.
So that was one of
there's
them.
the one of them, yes.
Okay.
This one is the one that is not on your list.
Ooh, okay.
Coming in at the number 2 spot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The next big thing, defeating The Rock at
Okay.
SummerSlam 02.
I'm glad it wasn't what I thought it was going to be with Brock Lesnar, so I appreciate you not throwing me under that freaking trauma bus.
Nope. Not doing that one.
Appreciate that.
This was the culmination of, you can't even really call it the culmination. The man had only been in the company for like 5 months. But is there a faster rise to the championship than Brock Lesnar? Like literally, he debuted the night after Mania, won King of the Ring, got his title shot at SummerSlam, defeated The Rock, and became champion. Like, there was no Intercontinental, there was no US, there was no European, there was no tag team. Still has not been to this day.
No. Brock has only ever been world champion.
And as much as I would love to see a run with him as a tag champion,
right,
with Shelton, for those of us that are in the know and get it, just because he doesn't need any secondary title.
Nope.
That's fantasy booking 101 for me.
Yep.
Him and Shelton for one run with the titles.
Yep.
I mean, they'd be a perfect team to dethrone the Usos. Let's just be real.
Yeah. You talk about legacy, not Orton's gimmick, sorry. But yeah, you have the Usos as, the bloodline. Orton and Peach Tights, right here. Shelton and Brock were OVW tag team champions. The Minnesota stretching, not wrecking crew.
Both of them part of that class of 02.
Yeah.
Shelton very much a forgotten part of that class.
Oh, yeah.
Along with Victoria.
Yeah.
Shelton and Victoria, forgotten members of that class. Everyone focuses, and Rico.
Yeah. And Rico, and if we're being honest, once his brother passed and Charlie moved over there, he didn't debut until like 2002 either, Charlie Haas. So there is so much good in wrestling in WWE in 2002 that it can't be. There's a reason Aaron and the other guy and I decided 2002 was the year to start. Because it was a goddamn good year.
Yeah. It's definitely a slept-on year in pro wrestling.
Yep, and
it's the year that the F got out and became the E.
Yep.
It was the year of all those amazing debuts.
Promotions too.
Shelton.
Yep.
Cena. Orton. Haas, like you said, Victoria.
Yep. Shelton, all those guys. Yep.
Batista.
Yeah, Batista started the same. Yeah. And you figure Ring of Honor's debut, TNA Impact's debut, all these things. And seriously, as much as the show Aaron and I are going to do, if we still do it, is going to be about the No DQ media history, it's like, gee, you wonder why we did it that year?
Yeah.
It ain't hard to figure out, kids. It ain't brain surgery.
Yeah. I mean, you can talk about some other great years in wrestling, 98. 97, 96 and the birth of the NWO. 02 is definitely a sleeper one to be on that list, though.
I would say the really last big boom period. You talk, the Attitude Era. It's like, slow down, Skippy. 1996. The summer especially, we figure the NWO and the Austin 316 catchphrase being uttered. That point until, I'll say, post-WrestleMania in Seattle. That entire run, not just the Attitude Era years, not just the Ruthless Aggression Era beginnings, but that entire 7 years. Yes, we lost WCW. Yes, we lost ECW.
But look what we gained in its place.
I was going to say, Ring of Honor and TNA emerged from the ashes of those companies. And Ring of Honor, management bullshit aside, has been phenomenal to watch. TNA, aside from, there's enough bullshit in TNA to cover a whole other hour and a half, and we're good on that for the night.
But 2002 through about 2008, 2009,
yeah.
You can't really say a bad word about TNA.
No, and had it not become the Hulk Hogan show, we could still been talking about it after that. But again, I was going to say I fully absorbed that. I was going to say en route to your number 2 match and Brock Lesnar becoming the NXT champion, trying to rein it back in here. He killed Hulkamania in the process. Literally bear hugged the blood from Hulkamania and wiped it across his chest as a badge of dishonor. Like, let's not forget about that for a minute.
No.
Brock Lesnar completely on national free television destroyed Hulkamania. So we thought, obviously, Hulkamania will never friggin' die, no matter how many times they try.
Hulkamania will die when Hulk Hogan dies.
Exactly.
And even then, much like Beatlemania still lives today.
That's right.
Hulkamania will forever run wild. Brother!
As long as there is a breath in my body and blood to give, it will always bleed out red and yellow for me.
Another thing to mention coming off of this title, it was the start of Paul Heyman managing 3 consecutive champions.
Yeah, no manager, advocate, advisor, whatever you want to call it, ever managed 3 consecutive world heavyweight champions.
Yeah. Sonny had done it with the tag ranks.
Yes, she did.
But like you said, nobody had ever done it with the world ranks.
No.
And it started with this moment at SummerSlam 02
Yep.
with the next big thing. Brock Lesnar.
Michael Cole and all his, even 2002, whatever it was, the night the next big thing arrived.
Yeah.
They had built, it's arguably the best short-term build in company history.
Yeah.
He just blew through everything like an F5. I mean, really.
And to this day, I still wonder how much bigger, if you can fathom it, how much bigger that moment could have been if they hadn't tried to put him versus Austin to qualify for King of the Ring and instead had made Lesnar Austin in the King of the Ring finals. No disrespect to your boy Rob.
No, not at
How
all.
much bigger it would have been if he had defeated Austin to get the title shot at SummerSlam and then defeated Rock at SummerSlam. It very much would have been Jericho level defeating an Austin Rock at the same night to become first ever undisputed champion.
Or hell, leave it as they booked it. Have his path to the King of the Ring crown start with fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because then
I to this day take Austin's stance on that. You don't make that a qualifying match on free TV.
No,
you make that the pay-per-view match for the finals.
I 100% agree with it, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But what I'm saying is, even if they'd gone through with the booking the way they did, but they wanted to, en route to destroying Hulkamania, en route to leveling through everybody and winning King of the Ring, he defeats Austin. Regardless of where it happens, it's still, is it a bad build? Is it a bad look in the short term? Yes, and I agree with Steve to this day on that. But when you think about the big picture, if he does defeat Steve in that qualifying match, Steve Austin, in his infinite creative disdain, has that chip on his shoulder like, MFer beat me to get the title, and he beat The Rock to do it. I couldn't beat The Rock for the championship to do it until I had Vince McMahon help my ass. I mean, he did it at 99, but, whatever. Like, that's a good build toward, WrestleMania the next year. if you don't do your current angle. There's always, again, the butterfly effects of Muckerfly. I've been talking about it for 2 days. There would have been good out of the bad that Steve had in his head. I really think there would have. But either way, you still get, the summer of Brock. Brock just leveled everybody, and he only went down because his own guy put him down. With Big Show's help, granted. But, yeah. And Ray, thank you for the comment. We appreciate that. And we know you would. It's all good. We know you would super chat if you could. And it's not been just you, so don't feel like you need to make, a reason or whatever. Ain't nobody super chatted, and there will be consequences for you people and your cheap asses tonight. There will be blood later, I promise you that. Because I'm still going to talk wrestling on Thursday, by the way. So, y'all get to hear it from me. Because that's been a theme all weekend. But we'll get into that Thursday. All right. So, it's on my list. You said this. So
it is on your list. And honestly, it's number one because when I think of SummerSlam title changes, it's the first one I think of.
Okay. Oh, God. And again, there's Lennox with the flag. There you go. Talked about it earlier.
I mean, that is the biggest SummerSlam title change in my mind in history.
Yep.
The Intercontinental title was the main event.
Yep.
As it should have been that night.
Oh, that night for sure. No doubt about it.
There is no other match I would have accepted as the main event.
Nope.
Other than the British Bulldog at Wembley in London, England, challenging for the Intercontinental title against his brother-in-law and winning.
Yep. Think about this, brother. Prior to the show coming up in
a week, week and a half.
Week and a half. Thank you. My brain just went dirt for a minute there.
That's a week from Saturday.
Yeah. Prior to that match, the two biggest shows in England featured this dude in the main event. Granted, the 97 show turned out a lot worse for the whole family. Not gonna lie. But, and that's very much a too sweet reason, unfortunately for them. But, hey, Davey Boy.
And unfortunately, I always forget about that show.
You kind of have to, because it's just such a sour taste in everybody's mouth. It really is. And Brett Taker had one of their greatest matches they ever had together that night, too, which is really unfortunate that it happened that night. Because Shawn and Davey was just so bad. It was such a bad, bitter, ugly moment. But this one was a great kayfabe, storyline, bitter, brutal match and built. Because of all the layers of family unity and everything just chinking away slow but sure as we got closer to SummerSlam. And like I said, it's only at number one because, of Brian. But like you said, if it could have been a three-way tie, definitely 1A, 1B, because this is such a pure moment, and it's the first moment that Vince actually was okay with the World Championship and or Hulk Hogan not finishing the show. And daring those two, all right, go out and show me. Sure shit did.
And I'm sorry, but I don't feel like there has been a moment like that since.
No,
in that country.
There is potential for it.
Yes, there is.
There really is.
There's very much potential for it, and especially if Drew brings to fruition what he's been teasing on his Twitter.
Dude, your reply alone in the group chats makes me want it so bad.
For real. For those of you that don't know, Drew McIntyre over the last month has tweeted out with images building up to the Clash at the Castle, lyrics from Broken Dreams. And I have gone on record, and I'm going to say it right here for the world to hear and see. If Drew McIntyre comes out to Broken Dreams at Clash of the Castle, I am going to be Pat McAfee up in this bitch when Shinsuke Nakamura is coming out.
And he's calling the show so I can turn the camera very easily. Just saying.
And he'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be there Labor Day weekend. It'll be a thing.
So if I get on my coffee table here, like an announce table, and start Pat McAfee in, Jeff can very easily turn the stuff around and start broadcasting me on a solo shot.
Okay, so
which
this has to
he
be a
will.
thing now.
And if y'all don't start super chatting through that, y'all some lame-os.
Y'all suck a dick if you don't. That's the greatest thing ever. Oh, my God.
But I digress. Buy
Yes.
the t-shirt.
Yes. Please buy all the t-shirts. Please.
Yeah. Shenanigans. That is the perfect shirt for these last 2 days. Buy
it. Right? Fuck me. No kidding.
I mean, Jeff literally just got in the door here like 15 minutes ago. I've been carrying this shit for an hour and a half.
Seriously. I'm on the freaking 405 freaking motion cameras and shit. I might as well have a freaking body cam like a cop. Jesus.
So anyway, there are our top 10 SummerSlam title changes.
Jesus.
What do you think?
Oh,
Who had the better list? Should I have taken something off of my list and replaced it with one of my honorable mentions? Because aside from Melina defeating Alicia Fox, which, again, it is what it is, but it's the only one I was there for, damn it. And I did have a Melina sign that whole night.
Yes.
But aside from that, even my honorable mentions, once again, Brett defeating Perfect, which was on Jeff's list.
Yes, sir.
The Hart Foundation defeating Demolition, which Jeff mentioned prior to his list.
Yes.
RK Bro,
which
Jeff was there for.
Yes.
Benoit beating OJ.
Which is very much a moment more than a match. Oh, Johnny.
And Chyna getting the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam 2000. And yes, I saved that one for last on purpose because I knew what it would do to you.
Yes, well, speaking of images that will do things to me, we still have a few more minutes before we get into the 2-hour mark here, so I'll go ahead and do this. I have not been with you on camera publicly since Thursday.
Yes.
So congratulations for being part of what was an unbelievable stream.
Yeah.
If y'all missed the NoDQ review number 200, please go back and watch it. I still haven't had a chance to go watch it because that's 5 hours of my life I don't have to carve out right now.
Right. Josh actually chimed into the comments earlier. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
Asking about my favorite part of that. And, like I said, if he had been able to bring me back in when Tito and TJS were there,
right,
and the four of us that had been on that Beatles panel could have been in the room together.
Yeah.
While James and Noah and Mansfield were also in there, and you kind of got a little bit of the open mic night, multiverse of media synergy going on.
Yes.
That would have been the best for me. But just being able to be on that panel, just being able to be affiliated with NoDQ, considering what went down 12 years ago after SummerSlam 2010.
Right.
Tying it into our topic here.
Yes, exactly.
And if y'all want to know all the details, it's going to take a super chat, goddammit. Otherwise, I'm not rehashing that shit.
Yeah, that's a multi-layered story to be sure. But as I was doing that, as you guys were doing that, I do have to thank my girls, my kitties. I've been wanting this picture for a minute. This is the only picture I have of me with the quote-unquote usual rotation. Because I have this picture on the cruise, but that was with Hisako rotated out because she had these issues or some stupid shit. I forget what it was now. But God, I said this to you privately. I said it on social media. It was the best show I've seen them do ever. It was just an unbelievable night. I purposely went to Hot Topic the next day and made sure I ordered this to pick up yesterday as part of my circle of hell trying to get home. It's a Sweet Child of Mine t-shirt. I don't know if you saw my post or not, but yeah. And it's a 2X and it fits wonderfully. So I'm happy. And then of course, I put the post on social, but I haven't been on video since then. So I just wanted to throw it out there. you talk about a muckerfather of a moment, dude. Look how majestic the form looks back there from where the hell we were at the stadium. God, that's my life, literally in one shot. Canyon High School hat, WrestleMania and Hollywood shirt, the form in the background. There's my life. Like, that's it.
While standing on the concourse of SoFi.
Right? And then, this is going to be my view in April. Like literally, the chair that's at my side is my seat. Like, I can't even freaking wait for this now. I'm like, but we have a long ride to go. Yes. And just this week alone, we still got some shit to handle.
Man, it ain't even funny, everything that's going on.
In addition to your movie reviews this week, which again, you're wrapping up your month of favorites, and can't pick a bad one out of the seven. God, I watched that Power Rangers movie Monday morning. Oh my God, I forgot how corny it is. Jesus.
It's still the best of the three that exist.
Well, that's a very low bar to have to hit. The other two. Yeah, remember
the original movie, the reboot, Turbo 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Turbo is just like the whole Turbo franchise in the first place is like okay, not sure, why not? But anything past season 2 of the original Mighty Morphin is kind of like, yeah, it's there. That's cool.
I want to say season 3 on TV is when they changed from the Mighty Morphin to the Ninja, and Ninjor came in.
Well,
so I'd give part of season 3.
Yeah, because
season 3 up until Ninjor came and the change came, because at that point they completely retconned the movie, and that's when I lost interest.
Yeah, because and again, there's money and politics involved, because they had an issue with Fox and they couldn't use because God, the thing with Dulcia was so great. How do they botch that? Oh wait, they did. But I honestly,
Dulcia, aka the reason for the fathers to take their kids to go see the movie.
This is an accurate statement. Just go watch the movie. It's on HBO Max. It's there. It's a thing. But I forgot how. I wish they could have found a way to bring Ivan News to television, because he's such a great character. But again, Zed on TV, Lord Zed was just so good, and they completely bitched him and Rita out during the movie. So it's like, how do you make that work on TV? That part of it, anyway. So, but I digress. Buy that shirt. For the love of God, buy that shirt. That's such a damn good shirt, and a good idea JJ had. You bastards, buy it.
And you need to do the one that I pitched on the sports bar today.
I saw that shit. That's gonna be a thing. I only put the Beachamania shirt up on Pros Tees because I need a new one, because the one I've been wearing's got the freaking graphic all, and the other one has a big hole in it. I need a goddamn Beachamania red shirt. They're crying out loud. But in addition to your movie reviews, which again tomorrow is Sidekicks. Chuck Norris, come on, man.
Jonathan Brandis, Danica McKellar, Richard Mall, Beau Bridges, Joe Piscopo. Like, you've got a stellar cast there.
I'll take 80 celluloid characters for $200.
Yeah, right. I mean,
except Beau Bridges, but still.
Well, and Beau Bridges in a movie with Danica McKellar, Winnie Cooper. Last year, I talked about Beau Bridges in The Wizard with Fred Savage, Kevin Arnold.
Right.
So, there's that synergy going.
How was Beau not cast as dad on that show? Let's just make that a thing. Seriously, retcon that shit and make it happen.
But, I mean, Sidekicks is one of those you watch, and my girlfriend Cece and I were discussing this, and it's like, Jonathan Brandis had it.
He did.
Pun completely intended, since he was young Bill in the TV movie It.
Yes.
But he had it. Yep. But he succumbed to those demons.
Yep.
And he passed away tragically, way too young. And he never got to the level that Heath climbed to, or the level that Leo climbed to. And he very easily could have gotten there if he hadn't succumbed to his demons.
He had everything
going. You watch Sidekicks, you watch Neverending Story 2, you watch Sequest DSV, you watch the 90s It. He had something special about him, and it's a damn shame that he's not with us anymore.
He had everything going for him, but his head on straight. Straight up.
So you've got Sidekicks on Wednesday. You've got the first episode of She-Hulk Attorney Law.
That's
on
right.
Thursday.
I forgot you're starting that this week. That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, here you go. Here's my green synergy for you. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You've
Friday's
got
movie, which is also
Surf Ninjas on
Oh my
Friday. Ernie Reyes Jr. and his dad, Ernie Reyes Sr. Rob Schneider,
look them up if you
Leslie
don't know.
Nielsen, again, Tone Loc. Like, can you get much more 90s than Tone Loc and Leslie Nielsen? Let's be real.
Yeah. With freaking Rob Schneider, who wasn't even Rob Schneider movie yet.
Yeah.
He was still toiling away on SNL at that point.
I actually just filmed that review this morning, and I mentioned on it that I believe, could be wrong, I believe Schneider was still a supporting cast on SNL when Surf Ninjas came out. I don't think he had graduated to main cast yet.
What was the year?
93, I think. 93, 94.
Yeah, he was still in the featuring from Don Parker section. Yeah, oh yeah, very much so. Yeah, he didn't get that graduate spot until that 95 season of Hell ended. So
you got that. Then we've got They/Them on Saturday, new release Saturday. Watched that the other day. I'm just going to throw it to you at this. You want to talk about synergy. You want to talk about coming full circle. Kevin Bacon, who one of his earliest roles was in Friday the 13th, in a horror movie that takes place at a summer camp where the killer is wearing a hockey-styled mask.
Yeah.
And he's a producer on the film.
Christ,
so it's completely intentional.
100%.
Without question.
Yes.
I'm not going to give any more spoilers for the film because there's one more thing I could tie the synergy to make it even more, but I'm going to leave that alone.
You got to watch that shit Saturday.
You're going to have to watch that movie and watch the review, which I still haven't filmed.
Please watch
that.
The
is
movies.
A Peacock original. So if you have Peacock for the WWE network, it is on there. It is a Peacock original movie.
I am so glad you brought up Peacock. Thank you. You reminded me I wanted to do something. So thank you for that.
It's the second time I've brought the cock up tonight.
Well, but talking about this in a horror movie, just click in my brain. I don't know if you saw Miss Curtis's post today on social media. We're getting Halloween Ends on the cock.
Nice.
I am.
I don't have to. I will probably still spend money to go see.
So will I, 100%.
But to know that I can go do that and then come home and rewatch it with the fam,
right?
Because I'm going to be trying to run through the entire saga.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long month for you, dude. But I will say this:
I actually have out here to the side, and you'll see it when you come on Labor Day weekend. I have everything pulled out for that month except for Hocus Pocus, because that and Part 2 are on Disney Plus. So I'm just not even going to mess with that. But the Addams Family Values, The Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream 1 through 4, still need to get a hold of Part 5. The Halloween Saga.
I think 5 is on Paramount now.
Right here. Everything is sitting right here underneath my television.
Yeah, it's kind of far away, so you can't see, but that little stack right there next to the Fire TV, it's a Halloween Saga. The whole thing, right there, ready to go, brother. I'm waiting for it.
I was this close to buying Kills the other day, but I was like, I'll wait a couple more weeks. I got other things I need to do right now.
Waiting to buy. What did you say? Halloween Kills?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Have you seen the extended cut of that yet?
I don't think so. No, that was the one I almost bought.
Okay, yeah, the extended cut of that. It's not like abysmally longer, but it's the stuff they put in is key. I will say that. But yeah, Jamie Lee herself even said, go see it in theaters. I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna come back and watch it over again just to see the parts I missed, or I can watch it with my family. Because, like you said, one of you going, $15-$20, including snacks. 4 of you going, yeah, you're not paying rent. So it's a little bit damaging.
Don't forget, I usually use Regal on Tuesdays, $5.
Well, right, but if you go and see on premiere night, like I'm gonna, that's a Thursday night.
I don't mess with premiere nights for a reason.
I only ever have prior to Halloween 2018. I only ever did it with Star Trek and Star Wars because I'm a glutton for punishment and a clear idiot. But with Halloween, the last two movies, I've done that live. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna get Halloween Ends on the Peacock, so that'll be awesome. In addition to your movies, in addition to the Warzone, in addition to next week's official Dads in its regular time slot. Let's not forget about that. Ask the Dads will be next Monday, or this coming Monday. As you mentioned during the sports bar, we'll have the Greg Cherry Show tomorrow night in its usual 7 o'clock Eastern 4 Pacific time slot. I did not put the graphic up accidentally for Jack of All Trades, but it will be Thursday. Mikey didn't have the graphic for the people involved because Greg hasn't announced it himself yet. So him saying that was kind of a moot point because Greg himself hasn't announced it.
I don't think he knew if it had been announced or not. So
right, if he did, it's only been in the creation of the stream on StreamYard. I don't have the graphic myself yet. If I get it before the show tomorrow, or do it because I'm not being a Greg Cherry show tomorrow. By the way, I will be in a certain building off to the side of where Galaxy's Edge is now in Anaheim. Trying, hoping, praying to come home with something. Let us pray. So that'll be tomorrow on the Greg Cherry brand and the Jeff Meacham Network. Thursday, again, Jack of All Trades. And then I'm doing this show Thursday. I don't care if Aaron and Virtue bitch at me or not. I really don't. I don't give a shit. Because I want to do talk wrestling this week. Because we definitely need to talk about more than just wrestling. But we're going to be talking about it. This weekend, as mentioned during the sports bar. Do I have the right day here first? I do. Look at that. Fancy. Both days, the 27th and the 28th. It'll be, as per usual, Noah and James on the call. Me back here with the nice studio behind me. I just don't have it right now. You will be in between matches or on open mic night for Saturday, Sunday? Or Saturday for open mic night.
I will definitely be on open mic night. I probably won't be doing the in-between matches because I don't know how I'd be able to view the show.
Yeah. It's only because I have the all access I'm giving Noah, and hopefully James can figure it out because too many people on there is going to get me shut down. But then we didn't talk about this during the sports bar because I hadn't made the graphic 100% done yet. But we're going to have a busy Labor Day weekend, including the Clash, which I don't have up here yet. But Sunday the 4th is now a double feature day. Stupid NXT.
Yes.
So
I'm curious to see how that develops and what matches get made for that. But I'm looking forward to it.
Well, without spoiling what happened tonight on NXT, there already is one match made for that from. Oh, you want to know?
No, I know there's two.
Oh, there's two. Okay. Yeah, the one with
Braun and Mandy.
Oh, Braun's involved in the other one. Okay, I'm curious who the challenger is. I'll have to look it up. So, okay. Yeah, the women's match I know because it was a big friggin' deal. I had forgotten that Mito Sakurako was on Nitro. That's how far back she goes.
Damn.
Damn. She's been wrestling a long time. But yeah, did they say it was title for title?
Yes.
Whoa, they're merging the titles. Interesting. Okay. Cool.
And bronze is to unify the titles as well.
With whoever comes out of the tournament. I forgot they already did that. Ooh, that's going to be good. Him and Tyler. Ooh. Did you hear they released Trent, by the way? Tyler's partner?
No.
Trent Seven? Yeah. He was part of the Exodus from the merger.
I know very little about NXT UK. That's why when Mikey was having that debate about the titles earlier, I was like, I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
NXT UK titles because I didn't know about them.
Well, there's honestly kind of like what's going to happen because they're transforming it into NXT Europe, the whole of Europe. So are we going to get the champions just change their titles? What's the, so, but if they're merging shit, maybe not. We'll see. But that's, again, a week from this weekend. So, yeah, there's so much going on. Like you said in the post, no sleep till the team no sleep till we ain't sleeping until Labor Day morning.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
And that's the morning I got to take you home.
I was going to say, yeah, take my ass home, which you're getting compensated
so that we can
be
back here to do Ask the Dads.
Yeah, Ask the Dads back-to-back weeks. We are never, ever gonna sleep again. But that's okay, because we're not making money and we're doing this for fun, right? Right? That's what we're doing. Yeah, that's what that's with a smile on my face. Anyway. But yeah, thank you for holding down the fort while I was gone. I really appreciate that.
No problem. It was an honor to both produce Mikey today and to hold things down. I told Cece on the way to the car to go to dinner, I actually enjoyed producing Mikey's show today.
It's a cool experience to just sit there and just do it, not have to worry about being on camera. Right? It's cool. I enjoy it. Like I said, I did it today because the FTW comment just pissed me off. It's like, God damn it! What's the shows, Mikey?
It just goes to show that he's uneducated about AEW. You know, 4 months ago, before I moved up to Teresa's, I was about the same with AEW. I would have been just as lost.
Okay, but don't show your brain on camera. Like, don't do that. Like, oh, it's so frustrating.
It's Mikey. What do you expect?
I know. Oh, by the way, yeah, I appreciate Big Red Amber educating him on the fact that there's a better Stone Cold beer than that damn IPA he was sucking down today. IPA is nasty. Get you some American Lager for open mic night, Mikey.
I still want to get at least 2 cans of both. One to try of each, and one to keep as a souvenir of each.
Yeah, I was going to keep
right
the
along
cans.
with my Roddy Piper all out of bubble gum.
yeah.
And my can of lemon lime Zoa, because
that's what we're going to need for Labor Day weekend, because I'm going to need me.
Zoa?
Well, yeah. Do you? Okay, we're going overtime. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Have you watched or listened to the Folius Pod stuff on Conrad stuff?
No.
Okay. It's become a weekly thing. Mick will pull out the can of Zoa. He goes, I just want to make sure I get this out there for my friend who's struggling right now. He's having a tough time. He was a Canadian football player at one point. He did some wrestling. Now I don't know what he's doing at this point, but he has an energy drink now. Please go out and buy it. And it's just Conrad's just sitting there going to do that stupid Conrad chuckle. It's like, God damn it, Mick.
Dude, if you walk over here to the 76 station next to my house, just had its big grand opening like last weekend.
Oh, that's right.
There is a full-on display. Dewey cut out the whole 9 for Zoa. Like, I want to hit them up.
Right.
Be like, when you're done with this, could I get this?
Right.
You know, just post them up here on the couch so it looks like I've got The Rock on the show with me.
Well,
like, so Dwayne, what do you think? It doesn't matter what you think.
Right. Shut him down, Hulk Hogan style. Well, you know, they have a full display for at least another week and a half. Because we're going to clean that shit out. We're going to need to, I have a feeling.
I ain't buying Zoas from there. They're too expensive. I think at Target, they're pretty damn cheap. So,
hey, you know what?
And if you can find them at Dollar Tree, they're only $1.25, but they usually only have either the coconut pineapple or the lemon lime. And both those flavors taste and sound nasty. I can't even say they taste nasty. I haven't drank those, but they just sound nasty. But there is a white peach, which I actually have in my fridge waiting to try. There's a berry blast, which is amazing.
Right.
And I forget the other one they had that I tried that was good. But you get those, the berry, the peach, golden. Coconut, pineapple, lemon lime. I'm not trying to drink a Sprite energy drink.
Coconut pineapple would sound good if you were actually trying to make it a mixed drink and not a freaking energy keep your ass awake drink.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, it's like, I want an energy drink, not a pina colada there, Dwayne. Yeah. But thank you anyway.
Maybe that's what he was thinking, though. Mix the coconut pineapple with some of his Terramana.
Lime in the coconut.
With some of his Terramana tequila.
Now I want to go Trader Sam's tomorrow after I'm done, just because. Damn it, I ain't been over there
Jeff,
yet.
That's a bad Jeff.
I have not been over there yet. That's a one part of the park. I have to go in the park and do that. Never mind. Just kidding. It's too expensive. Oh no. Is it Trader Sam's in the park, or am I thinking the hotel?
The original Disneyland hotel.
What's the part of the park they converted the Oasis into? What's that called?
I don't know.
Anyway, we're going off into the weeds. Thank you all for sticking with us for almost 2.5 hours. Thank you to 3 people that are actually still watching.
Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat today.
Yeah, that's right. All you people, all you wonderful people who just don't exist. Kiss my ass. Thank you very much. It was his birthday, and we had to delay it by a day because of my dumbass. And he still didn't super chat. You guys suck. And I sat in traffic to get back in time. So piss on you guys. I don't care about being nice anymore. Greg will be back tomorrow. JJ will be back tomorrow reviewing Sidekicks, which is a fun movie. Go find it. Where'd you find it to stream?
I think I had to watch it on YouTube, honestly.
Oh, wow. Well, hell.
It's on Tubi, but it's in Spanish.
Ooh, oofa. That's no bueno.
You might be able to rent it on Vudu.
Yeah, which is like
but
a
I
couple
think
bucks,
I
right?
found it. I think I found it on YouTube for free.
I'm going to be educational to our viewers just because I can. Because I don't really care about keeping them overtime at this point, since they couldn't bother to show up today. It's on Hulu if you have a free trial, which I think I have a Hulu account, so you can do it that way. It is on Vudu. You got to rent it, obviously, like you said. Oh, there you go. Sidekicks full movie, 1992 on YouTube, hour and 41 minutes. There you go.
Yep.
There it is.
And Surf Ninjas is also on YouTube.
So you have no excuse to not watch this movie before JD reviews it tomorrow. Make it happen, folks. Matter of fact, hell, I'll even go you one better. Watch this shit. Ready for this shit? Here we go. Watch this.
Watching.
There's a link. Sidekicks. Watch it tomorrow. Watch Renegade's reviews. Educate your damn selves. Because I ain't going to be here tomorrow to do it for you. I'm not doing your damn dirty work tomorrow, people. I am going to get my job. So, piss on your lack of super chats and go educate your damn selves. You big jerk faces. Anyway. JJ, close the show before I get people in real trouble.
Thank you once again to everybody who joined and tuned in today.
Yes.
All joking aside, I do appreciate
course.
you guys being here with me for the long haul, holding me down for those 45 minutes before Jeff could chime in, sticking here with us for the whole time, doing our lists, stalling so Jeff could actually get to the studio for the final three. Thank you to everyone who was here today for the show.
I'll watch She-Hulk on Disney Plus for this guy.
For the West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham, I am the Renegade JJ Williams. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you on Monday for Ask the Dads.